22 million people here in the United States are about to experience a healthcare shock. This is going to cripple many people, and unfortunately, millions will be unable to afford healthcare. Look at this. It says the Affordable Care Act cliff may mean huge premium shock for 22 million people in 2026. This is according to multiple experts. Because what is happening right now, and I want to show this to you. It says the Affordable Care Act insurance premiums are set to rise sharply next year if Congress doesn't intervene. It says that's because enhanced subsidies that have reduced costs for millions of enrollees in health plans purchased through the Affordable Care Act marketplace in recent years are set to expire at the end of 2025. That is concerning, and here's part of the reason why. It says the disappearance of these enhanced premium tax credits are a so-called subsidy cliff would cause average premiums to rise by about 75%. It says that would amount to more than $700 in additional premium payments per year on average. However, that does not mean you are going to be locked in at just paying $700 additionally every single year. Look at this. It says Leanne Safford and her husband Lori pay just $278 a month for health insurance, but starting January 1st, their monthly premium could jump to as much as $1,800. $1,800 a month, up from $278. Yeah. A $1,500 increase per month? I'll tell you right now, millions of people would simply opt out. They are not going to attempt to afford health insurance that's going to cost them $1,800 a month for two people. That's ridiculous. But again, that could be what the costs are going to be. Look at this though. It says Democrats dig in on healthcare as threat of government shutdown looms. And if you don't know this, on September 30th, 2025, so in just a few weeks, a couple weeks actually, that is a government deadline. That's the end of the fiscal year, meaning that all new programs, everything starts on October 1st. Here's the issue. They have to get a new bill. The government needs a new funding bill for the next fiscal year. Well, look at this. It says Democratic leaders have said that they will not support legislation to keep the government funded unless it includes certain healthcare provisions, setting up a bitter policy fight that could trigger a shutdown. Here's the issue. When the federal government shuts down, this means programs like SNAP benefits could be delayed. Social Security payments could be delayed. Anything for any type of benefit program could actually be pretty much suspended for the time being. This includes things like affordable housing. Yeah, this is going to trigger a catastrophic event. And we go through this every single year right about this time where lawmakers are negotiating, trying to get their agenda in, trying to pass something for their constituents. That's what we're going to see this time around as well. And again, I'm bringing this to your attention because of two things. Number one, if you have insurance through the Affordable Care Act, this could potentially impact you. Republicans said that they are not going to budge. Look at this right here. It says congressional Democrats are demanding that legislation include an extension of the Affordable Care Act tax credits, which are set to expire after 2025. Republicans, however, appear unlikely to budge on the Democratic lawmakers' request. Keep in mind what we've been going through over this past 6 months, 8 months. The Trump administration is adamant that we have to reduce our deficit. The Affordable Care Act, unfortunately, does contribute to part of our deficit. Here's the issue though. Without this, the American people don't have access to health care, not affordable health care. That's why it's the Affordable Care Act. Again, huge issue. Want to read a little of this to you though. It says Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer and House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries, both of New York, have said that they will not support GOP-backed legislation to keep the government funded unless it includes certain healthcare provisions, setting up a bitter policy fight with GOP lawmakers that could trigger a shutdown. Jeffries said, "We have made clear that under no circumstances will we support a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to rip away healthcare from the American people." It says, with the funding on the brink, congressional Democrats are demanding that any legislation that could avert a shutdown include an extension of the Affordable Care Act tax credits, again, which will expire at the end of this year. All I can tell you right now is people are extremely concerned about what are they going to do. What are they going to do without this benefit? How are they going to get health care for themselves or their family? It's going to be a crisis. Again, millions, 22 million people are about to experience a healthcare shock once this goes into effect. Here's the thing. Will this happen? Is it either we get these subsidies extended or we don't get them extended? The answer to that is potentially yes. Because lawmakers could agree to pretty much just push this negotiation back, extend it, what they call a stopgap bill. They push it back a few months so they can have more time to negotiate. They could do that, but as of right now, Democrats are pretty much locked in, saying that they will not support any Republican bill, any Republican legislation that does not include an extension of the Affordable Care Act subsidies. If this happens and the government shuts down, keep in mind that these subsidies still expire at the end of 2025. Doesn't mean they expire on September 30th. They expire at the end of 2025. But the other programs will be shut down. Social Security checks will still be going out. There is good news there. However, SNAP benefits, that could get hit pretty hard. You could see delays. You could see a lapse in payment. That could happen. You will see millions of people that are trying to get into these programs. They will not be processed because there will not be people there to process them. Millions of federal employees would be temporarily let go. Those that are in positions of power and positions of need where they are deemed necessary, those employees will have to continue to work. The concern, though, and the problem is that they will not be paid until the government is funded, whenever that may be. So, expect the fight over the next couple of weeks to potentially cause the United States government to shut down. So, once we get more information on this and how this plays out, whether or not this impacts you or who this impacts, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates as soon as we get them. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.